Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hope you had a wonderful Tuesday yesterday. I know I did. Had a great day. Just an awesome all-around day. Got to get out a little bit, enjoy the weather. Get out to Hoyt Lake. It was a busy day yesterday at Hoyt Lake. Just a lot of people out there. A lot of people with masks, but a lot of people without masks. Kind of funny the contrast that took place between, I was there about a week or so ago and nobody had masks on. Like nobody. Good morning, Jackie. How you doing, hon? Nobody had masks on. And now all of a sudden, you get the fear. Hey, good morning, Anna. How you doing, hon? Now all of a sudden you got the fear mongering from polling cars. You got fear mongering from Fauci again. And these people, like, really, I just, we fought so hard for the past several months to get this back, expose the fraud, and here these people criminally come right back out again. Oh, there's a spike. Good morning, Kelly. There's no spike, guys. The only spike that is occurring and happening right now is because of the faulty tests that there are out there right now. I could tell you this. I know somebody that spoke to this person, very close to them. They tested positive for COVID. They never took the test. Dozens of people that I know haven't taken the tests and are testing positive. Department of Health official contacted this person. Hey, good morning, Mark. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Kelly. Great to see you guys. Department of Health contacted this individual and they had a conversation trying to figure out what was happening. Now, this person is a tracer and this person didn't even have any information. The individual that spoke to this Department of Health official said, look, I didn't take my test. It came back as a false positive. The Department of Health official literally said to her, yep, that's been happening. We know it's been happening. The Department of Health official didn't even care. He could have cared less, which is kind of a good sign because at least they know it's all bullshit. She was like, well, how long should I quarantine? And he's like, I don't know, 10, 14 days, whatever. He goes, you could just do 10. Literally didn't care. Good morning, Joyce. Good morning, Jen. And she was just floored. She's like, so you guys are enforcing all of these measures and all of these things that are going on, but you don't care? He's like, yeah. He says, whatever you want to do. He said, I don't care. He said, you want to go back to work, go back to work. I don't care. He knows that their false positives are coming back. And the rise in false positive guys coincides directly with the fact that they were predicting there was going to be total scam, Jackie. They predicted there was going to be this second spike. Nobody's dying, but there was going to be this huge spike, right? Because the 1918, it lasted 3 years and there was this huge spike. So yesterday they announced vaccination that was produced by somebody in, I believe it was the UK. So somebody now all of a sudden magically for a virus that everybody said was impossible to create a vaccination for. Now all of a sudden, magically, mysteriously, wonderfully, right? They have this vaccination. For which virus, I don't know, because the virus mutates. I've heard it's mutated 1,000 times already. It's mutated 1,000 times. But they got this vaccination. And they're all super excited about it, and we're all super happy about it. And again, I say, line up everybody that wants to force this on us. Line up all the leftists, line up all the politicians and all the attorneys and all the doctors and the physicians and, all the school officials. Let's not forget those school officials that love injecting stuff into people and demanding that, people get injected with it. Let's line all them up. Let's line up the politicians, all the government agencies. Let's line up all the teachers that don't want to teach and the union officials and the union presidents that are supporting the teachers, these teachers that don't want to teach. Let's get them all lined up and let's let them take it first. Let's see how effective it is. Let's see how wonderful it is. Let's see how much it's going to save the planet, this vaccination, right? That's what I'm all about. And like I said before, let's remove the liability from these people. Or, let's remove the protections that they have from liability. Let's make sure that they can be sued. Let's make sure that they test it on all their family members, right? If it's so effective and it's so safe, they should have zero problem with that. If it's so safe and it's so effective, make it free. Make it free for everybody. Don't make a dime on it. People will say, well, Pete, flu and pneumonia vaccinations are free. Well, they're not. They get compensated from the federal government or the state government. That every flu vaccination that they give, there's a certain amount of money that they get. They're not free. They're free to you because they want to inject you with everything that they can, as many times as they can, but it comes from it's being paid to Big Farm. They're not giving it to you out of the, being such good, wonderful, kind, and gracious people. That's not what they're doing. So make it free, make them liable for any damages that are incurred on anybody. Oh, I wanted to say happy Veterans Day to everybody today. Absolutely happy Veterans Day to all you vets, all you families, all the the parents, the sons and daughters of veterans that are out there. If you're a friend with a vet, just take a second, guys. The thing is this: most veterans, they don't even look for praise. They don't look for acknowledgement. They don't look for affirmation. They don't want any thank you. Most vets don't. Nearly all the vets that I know. Yeah, that sucks, Anna. I'm so sorry. We're working hard, hon. We're working really hard. Good morning, Joanne. We are, but anyway, so most vets don't want to be thanked. But at the end of the day, they really appreciate it when you do. So if you see somebody out there, one of the things that I like to do on Veterans Day is I go to dinner. They have a lot of free stuff. Find the free stuff and post it on your Facebook page, guys. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. Find all the free stuff and share it on your Facebook page today. Share it with all the veterans that you know. It takes 10 minutes. Go through your phone, find the vets that you know, share a link with them, all the stuff that's free. They might know, they might not know. Get that information out to them so that they can take advantage of this stuff. And most vets won't, but some will. And most are aware, but some aren't. But then take the second to actually have a conversation with them, make them feel like they matter. Because for so many of these men and women, it doesn't matter how old they are, they don't know that they matter. It's 22 vets every day, guys. It's 22 vets a day that are casualties. It's 22 vets a day that stories are never told. And they commit suicide. That happens every single day. Good morning, Roger. These people suffer every single day. Heartache, anxiety, depression. And in a situation like this, it just compounds and exacerbates that. I've known several very, very good people that have worked very hard to help veterans that are in crisis situations. But vets are kind of a little bit of a different breed. They don't look for help. They want to be strong. They want to be stoic. And unfortunately, they suffer on their own. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. I didn't do a lot. Just so you guys know, I want to be clear with everybody. I was a reservist. I was a naval reservist. I joined after 9/11, and I joined because my brother was full active. My father was in the Army. My grandfather was National Guard. Good morning, Jeff. And I wanted to do something. I always felt compelled to do something. I was going to do it out of high school, and then I didn't. And then several years passed by, and then more years passed by. I became a father, and you have your jobs, and you didn't do it. And then an opportunity arose for me to join, and it was an advanced pay grade program that was with the Navy that allowed me to go to boot camp for about 2.5 or 3 weeks. It was out in Great Lakes, Illinois. And I went at a good time of year. It was September. It wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold yet. But I was just a reservist. And, I went on my annual ATs, my 2-week ATs that I did. And then we drilled we drilled once a month. So that's what I did, just so we're all clear. I don't ever want to give anybody the impression that, I was, active doing anything other than what I was doing. And, it was great. It was an amazing experience. The people that I met, amazing people, amazing men and women. Our unit was kind of close, and, it was here in Buffalo, Porter Avenue. But our unit, our home unit was in Lakehurst, New Jersey. And we would do our 2-week ATs out there sometimes, depending on what was going on. And it was great, and I loved it, and I really enjoyed, good morning, Paul, I really enjoyed getting to know everybody, and the family that I created there. So that's what I did. So, there are a lot of other men and women that have been active for 20 years, 25 years, 3 years, 4 years, combat missions over and over and over and over again. Those are the real heroes, guys. Those are the guys and women that, they fly planes, they're in the Navy, they're doing everything that they're doing on submarines and on ships. Those guys and those girls that you're never ever going to hear about. They're never going to look for any, accolades at all. But they do their job. And, people are like, well, they joined the military, they were poor, and, they didn't have any place to go. It's not that they wanted to do that. Who cares? Like, who are you? Did you serve? And the answer is always no, they didn't serve. Oh, so you get to judge why somebody else is served, or what their reasons were, without even having a conversation with them. You get to make those assumptions and those presumptions. And who cares if it was that reason? They still did it. You didn't. And these men and women, it's not like it is in civilian life, guys. And in civilian life, everybody's very detached. So if I can explain to you guys for a minute, kind of what goes through a vet's mind. When you are serving, it's unlike anything else because you get very close. It's even closer than when you're with a sports team. And it's forced for sure because you work 24 hours a day. You don't have any, you are property of the military, whichever branch you're in. You sometimes you don't get to sleep. You're sleeping for a couple hours, a few hours, or none at all. And it's just because of the mission. It's not because people want to be, brutal or uncaring, insensitive, inhuman. It's just the conditions that exist in the military. And as a result, you develop very, very close bonds and very close relationships. So for me, when I was getting out of the Navy, I had decisions to make. My brother was out, and I had a lot of other friends that I knew that were out. I had a whole bunch of other friends that were coming in, and everybody asked me, Pete, please stay in. I made a list, and on the one side, it was all the reasons to get out. And on the other side, it was reasons to stay in. And then the get out page was, family and my daughter and, all these other reasons that I had experienced within, being in the Navy. And the other side, there was one, and I had like double column, like 1.5 on the one side. And the reason that I had to stay in were my friends. And even though I had all of this other information or all this other stuff on my page that said, I needed to get out, just having the one reason to stay in was enough. My friends. And it, to this day, is a very, very difficult decision that I made to get out. And in retrospect, in hindsight, I probably would have stayed in. But at the time I was, I had my daughter and, I was a divorced father and, I know that she needed me And, so it's like, look at, I'm doing this. It wasn't a huge commitment, but still there were a lot of other reasons. But that one reason that was their friends was almost enough to keep me in. And people that are vets, that have served, what happens is they create these bonds and these relationships and these friendships and their family. And it's this extremely, extremely deep, especially if you have served in a combat situation in any capacity, because you know that that person that's going out, that's serving next to you, might not come back. And you have to be removed and detached from that person just as much as you are close to that person. Because when you go out, that person might not come back. And that person has to be detached. You got to fight like you cannot imagine. Like it's like you're fighting for your kids, every kid you have, your mother, your father, your whole country, all at once. All your friends, all at once when you go out. And you want to make sure you're doing your job, and you want to make sure you're on point. And, still, no matter what, that may not be enough. And it's not that everybody serves in this capacity. There are as many people that serve in a combat situation. There are probably 10 or 20 or even more people, 100 people that are serving that won't ever be in a combat situation. And that's not an issue, and that's not a problem, because they still go through the same things, the same concerns, the same fears, the same worries. But when you serve in a combat situation, it is very, very difficult. Because you're so connected to this person, but at the same time, you have to be detached and removed from them so that it doesn't cripple you if something happens to them. So imagine going out every single day, doing your job that you get paid for, and not nearly as much as civilians get paid for. You're doing it for honor, sense of duty, sense of country, being an American, and you're fighting for freedoms, not just for this country itself, but for others all across the globe. Because as bastardized as the military complex is, and how much certain individuals benefit from it, the soldiers, the seamen, the airmen, they all do it for country, and they all do it for good and righteous reasons. The other stuff is a whole other level of conversation. So when you're in, you have this sense of belonging, you have this sense of community, you have this sense of connectedness, this togetherness, and you're always there for everybody else. But it's not just in one capacity like it is at your job. You're there as support network, you're there family, you're there cooking, you do everything. You're there to work and do your job, you're there to work out, you're there to laugh and have fun, joke, and do all these other things together. And you're there together. You don't have a choice. Like, you can't go here, you can't go there. You're there. You got to figure it out on how to be together. And then that time comes when you leave the military, when a vet leaves the military, and getting acclimated back to civilian life is tough. Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Beth. And getting acclimated back to civilian life is difficult. And the reason it's difficult is because you go back into civilian life and you see all the pettiness. You see all the cattiness. You see all of the people just thinking their lives are so difficult. And depending on which theater or arena you're in, you may have been working, 100 hours, 120 hours a week, whatever. More. You maybe have been working more. And you come back and you see how mostly peaceful things are. And you see, good morning, John. And you see how, there's peace and there's happiness, but you see that people are just miserable. And you see that people are disconnected. And when you come back from those situations, when vets come back who have served in that capacity, when they come back from those situations, getting matriculated back into society and acclimated back to society, good morning, Jim, it's not the easiest thing for a lot of people. Because, it was family, you were so connected inside the military, and then when you left, those connections are gone. That family is gone. And you just can't ever really replicate in civilian world what is happening in the military world. So a lot of guys struggle with that. And they struggle with that for a long, long time, for years. And now you have services available finally after decades and decades and centuries that have targeted this to be there to help, vets who have served. But even then, and still, you still have that veteran that is still prideful. I don't need that, right? I can do it on my own. I'm strong. And then day after day passes and year after year passes, and, solitude and loneliness and, isolation sets in. And, maybe you become a little bit alienated from a few friends and, the unit that you were talking to and, your fellow, service men and women you were speaking to. And then you stop doing that. And then, maybe a few family members. And before you know it, this person either doesn't have many people at all or anyone in their life. And that's tough. And it's difficult because then bitterness and resentment set in. And there before you know it, you're all on your own and you're all by yourself. Well, who wouldn't get anxious and depressed in a situation like that? Here you've served your country. You've done everything that you can to be the best so-called American that you can, to give everything that you have to give. And then your country abandons you and your family abandons you and your unit abandons, or so you think, and nobody's there for you. And all that time, suicidal thoughts are there. And they become crippling. And that's how we get to a point where 22 vets, take their lives every single day. And those are the guys, those are the men and women that you'll never get to thank you. Or you'll never get to hear about. You'll never hear those stories. The media wants to elevate and praise criminals for all different kinds of reasons. They want to elevate and praise criminals that are in politics, but they don't ever want to tell the story about vets that, and even vets that don't kill themselves, because that's that last grasp, that's that very last grasp at, showing everybody how, much hurt has been, bestowed upon you and how uncared for you feel. And then, you do that. But that doesn't even count, so for every one person that dies, that commits suicide, there are hundreds and hundreds, thousands of vets that are struggling with the same exact thing, guys, every day. So today, when you're out there, think of that. Think about all the families that, hey, good morning, Bill. Absolutely, brother. Remember the families, guys, because the families serve as well. The kids and the parents and everybody in that family and the friends, not so much the friends, but the families, sometimes the friends, depending on how close you are, the families serve as well, guys. They suffer and struggle with it as well, that sense of loss. Good morning, Shawno. But remember the vets, all of them today. And I tell everybody this. When you're out today, I always post this and I posted it for today. Just smile at a vet. Thank a vet. If you have a little bit of extra time, have a conversation with them. If they're up for it, bring them in close and give them a hug. If you see somebody out, my father and my brother and I, we go to Applebee's every year in West Seneca. Good morning, Andy. You're welcome, brother. I know it. Thank you. I appreciate you, Andy. I know it. Yeah, I know, Andy. You had it tough, man. You didn't have it as tough as Andre Hill, though. He's about 6'5" when he had to serve in the submarine. Imagine that. But anyways, but if you can, like I said, send this information out to veterans that you know. Thank a veteran that is in your life today. But then if you're out, if you're at Applebee's or wherever you're at, and you happen to see a veteran sitting alone, which a lot of them will be sitting alone today, guys, And it's, and it's one of those things that they want to get out and they want to do, but there's so many others that are going to be home. But we can't really do anything about. There are services and programs and groups available for those guys and men and women that are at home. But if you see those people that are out, that are sitting alone, sometimes it gets very depressing if you are sitting alone and you're seeing other people laughing, but nobody even comes over and says hi to you. So if you are out today, I tell everybody, take a minute to go over to somebody. I know it takes some courage if you haven't really done that, and I know it maybe seems weird or you're kind of worried about how that person's going to react. No, they don't. They don't like that at all, Andy. Good morning, Carrie. But I'm going to tell you what, it's worth it. Even if that individual doesn't want to have a conversation with you, have it. Don't have it with them. Just go over there and at least acknowledge them. And if they say no, thank you, you just walk away. And that's all you do. But at least try to have that conversation with somebody that is sitting there alone. That may be the only time today, this week, this month, this year, that they end up having somebody sit there next to them. And that may be, even for years, if that's the only time, but imagine what that will mean to them. And again, it's not for everybody. And COVID is an issue, absolutely. Be careful and social distance. Most of these men and women don't give a damn. They had bullets and rockets and missiles and other things that they were worried about, or they've been, they served in the military. These people don't care about COVID for the most part. They don't. So go up to them, like I said, at least say thank you, shake their hand. If you've got a little bit more time, have a conversation. If you've got even a little bit more time, ask them if it's okay to sit down with you. Their meals are free, so you don't have to pay for that stuff, but maybe whatever time it is, ask them if they want to drink and buy them a drink, because drinks aren't included. They just have the dinners and the meals. Thanks for listening to that, guys. I really appreciate it. A few things that are happening this weekend. Marching Patriots decided to, and thankfully Mike and Desiree, thank you so much for doing what they're doing. They decided to cancel the march that was going to be happening in Cheektowaga this week on Saturday. And they have opted instead to extend an invitation to their 1,000+ membership right now on MeWe, which is growing every day, guys. So get over to MeWe, MEWE. Get over there, follow them there, and you'll get all the information. You'll be able to message them and do everything that you want, find out about rallies. But they decided that it's more important to go down to DC this week. And what we're going to do this weekend is we're trying to get together numbers. So let me know if you guys want to go down. We have the ability to get a bus or buses, depending on the number of people that RSVP. Also, share this information with as many people as you can. Let's friggin' load DC up with Western New Yorkers. Let's make this area be represented, and let's make us all proud, guys. Just imagine what it'll be like rolling down in with all those buses. I know that hotel rooms are $90 if you want to drive down. I know there's going to be a caravan of people that are going to be leaving on Friday morning between like 6 and 7, I think. So there's going to be that. I'll figure out where people are meeting. People have suggested bringing flags, and doing that and driving all the way down. It's about a 7 to 8 hour drive. But we're also hotels. I'll put some of the hotel information down here so we can hopefully all stay close to one another, or possibly even in the same hotel. Oh boy, it'll be like a Bills game, but times 100. But the buses, guys, DNF Travel has offered their buses to us. They're offering them to us at a discounted rate. I just need to know who wants to go. What we're planning on doing is the bus leaving the Transit Road Park and Ride over by the Thruway, the Garden Place Hotel, Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, around 2 a.m. And the reason is this: if it's going to be about an 8 hour drive, or maybe I think 1 o'clock, if it's going to be about an 8 hour drive, what we want to do is make sure you get down there, because I've heard that the different things that are going on. And you can sleep on the bus. It's comfortable. You don't bring a pillow. You know what you do? Bring one of those little neck things. That'll be your best bet, honestly. Pillow's going to be a little bit tougher, but if you bring one of those neck things, you're going to fall asleep like a baby. Bus is so comfortable. They keep it warm. And, we may even have to leave at midnight, especially if it's going to be about an 8-hour drive and if there's going to be a couple of stops. And but it'll still be at that park and ride. Details will follow if you decide to go. We'll be very specific with it. And we'll meet there at that transit park and ride in Williamsville, probably somewhere between midnight and 1 o'clock Saturday, early Saturday morning. Get down there because festivities, I guess, are starting at 8 a.m. So thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it, hon. Good to see you. Good morning, Dave. I think I said hi already. But we're going to go down there, and the first rally is the official is at noon, and I don't know if Trump's going to be out there. I would imagine he is. But then Sunday, there is a second rally. So a lot of people are going to be staying overnight from Friday to Saturday. They're leaving early Friday morning, like I said. And then there's going to be another group of us that are going to be leaving. So they're going to stay over Friday and Saturday. 2 nights stay is about $200. 1 night stay is about $100. And we're going to try to figure out who wants to stay till Sunday, because some people are going to want to stay until Sunday. And then we'll get all that hotel information out to you, and we'll set it up with one bus that is going to be there for both days if we have enough people. If we don't, then it'll just have to default to what everybody wants to do. If everybody says we want to stay till Sunday, that's what the bus will be. And if everybody says no, we want to come back Saturday, then they can do that. So it's going to be about $50 to $60 for the bus ride that's going there and coming back. That covers everything, guys. You can give the driver a tip. We suggest everybody give the driver about $10 for the tip after the bus ride in addition to that. So at most $60, $70. You don't have to drive. You get to sleep. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to pay for tolls. You don't have to worry about going off the side of the road because you're falling asleep. You don't have to worry about any of that. I love traveling by the bus. Going down to Albany the other day was just amazing. So more information and details to follow today. You're probably going to see me online. I'm going to be very busy. I've got my brother and my father. We go to Applebee's. Then my brother and a friend of ours, we served in the Navy together. We're going to be going for dinner. And then I'm going for a walk today with Joe P. If it stays clear, I think it's pretty clear right now. So there's that going on. Originally, I was going to leave Friday and go down to D.C. Friday morning. However, guys, Russ Thompson put together an amazing event, and I can't thank Russ enough, but everything that we're doing with Breathe Free New York, it all kind of culminates this week Friday at 6 p.m. down at Niagara Square. It's Back the Bars and Back the Bands, and they're going to be there 3 hours, 6 till 9. Like I said, I was going to leave early Friday, but I can't miss that. With everything that has been going on and what we've been trying to do for the bars and the restaurants, we need to be there for those guys. So that is 6 to 9 on Friday, guys. If you aren't making the trip, please, please, please make this trip and share this with everybody, guys. This Friday, 6 to 9, there's going to be bands playing. There will be the bars down there. And let's make that a huge event. I don't even care if it's cold. Let's make it a huge event. Share that with everybody and get down there. If you can't be down to the Trump rallies, then that's the second best thing. Going to that on Friday, 6 to 9. And I don't know, I think it's Back the Bars and Back the Bands is what it's called. And it's those 3 hours, 6 to 9. You don't have to stay the whole time, but it would be great. Bring your American flags down. Bring your Trump flags down. Let's hope that Antifa and Black Lives Matter aren't going to be there. Let's hope there's going to be enough camaraderie with the fact that these Antifa pukes and, these Black Lives Matter fakes, that they're not going to try to undermine or counter-protest something that is trying to give people back their businesses. Let's hope that, better judgment and humanity kick in and compassion kick in with Antifa and Black Lives Matter, that they can't even get on board with supporting businesses that have been shut down and locked down for months. losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, their employees not able to be employed, the businesses that they work for having to cut staff and employees because they're not working, and all the other restaurants are in the same boat. And then Cuomo comes out and does the same thing. Hey, new mandates, new mandates, new mandates. This should be one that everybody across the board can support, guys. It really should be. So we talked about Veterans Day. We talked about the rally down in D.C. Man, there was a lot. I feel like Judy, the events coordinator right here, right now. Like maybe it could get me that outfit, that Love Boat outfit. Somebody find me that Love Boat outfit. Put Judy, events coordinator, on there, all right? But I think that's it for what's going on this week. I think Watchman had an event yesterday. It was training, first aid training. So thank you to Dean, who is doing all the training planning. And thank you to Charlie Pauline for doing everything. And thank you to all of the Watchman leadership and membership, guys. Stick with it. Don't get down. You know, there's a lot of people doing a lot of hard work to make sure our numbers grow, to make sure everybody's together. And I say this all the time, guys, at the meetings. If you have a skill, bring it to somebody in leadership's attention. If you don't know who leaders are, just message Charlie. He'll put you in the right hands of where you need to go. We need somebody over there in PR and communications and community outreach and civics right now. We need people who can help with admin. You know, we need people. So don't think, guys, that if you aren't, you know, if you don't have that, if you lack that physical prowess, you know, that you can't be a watchman. You absolutely can. We've got a ton of people behind the scenes. And I know some people have asked me to get them that information. I'm trying to get through my messenger, guys, the best that I can. I just ask that please be patient with me. There's so many different things that I do every day. And I'm working with some other people that we can get through that. I can get through all the messages. Building a team of people that we can be here and I can get through and respond to everybody in a more timely manner and in a more effective way, so that you guys, your requests and the information that you need from me aren't going unanswered, and that I'm putting you where you need to be with who you need to be and moving you forward, and then that you feel you can reach back and contact me if you need to, so that I am there for you. But right now I am definitely spread thin, so I just ask to be patient. And if you need to, communicate with me several times. That's the best way. Like, don't just do it once and say, Pete didn't get back to me, screw him, and then let it go. Keep communicating with me, because I promise you, once I see it, I will get back to you. You know, I take a look at my messenger sometimes and it's like, and I'm like, I got to get back to that person. Then I get a phone call, and then before you know it, somebody is like 20 messages down and I forget. So just bear with me. But like I said, I'm trying to do all those things for us. But guys, Watchmen, great group. Everything that they're doing has been amazing, and I love it. There was a little bit of, as you guys know, most of you guys here are, informants and researchers, and that's what this team is all about. This team is all about helping one another in every way imaginable. So yesterday, I got a text message from Jen, and it was out in Cheektowaga at Rhinestein Woods, and she said there were 2 vehicles there, Black Lives Matter vehicles. There were about 24 young white males with masks on, and there was one person that was kind of directing them all last night. And she said it was just very suspicious. So I ended up putting a call out to some other people. She went back, she called Cheektowaga PD. I ended up going over there. And fortunately, by the time I got there, it had disbanded. I don't know what it was about, guys. I think the point is this. Jen felt like she had somebody that she could talk to. Just like Joanna does. Just like anybody who contacts the Watchmen, knows that they have somebody that has their back. That's what the Watchmen are all about. And it extends across all ethnicities, guys. We don't care what race, color, creed, religion you are. We don't care what country you come from. We don't. And even if you are illegal, yeah, it sucks that you're here illegally, but we get it. You're here in America. Unless you're doing something being an a-hole, we're going to be there to support you. And Jen was like so grateful last night. She goes, Pete, I just, and how many times, guys, And this is where we fill the void. This is where the watchmen fill the void. And this is why the watchmen are so important, guys. And this is why, you need to spread the information about watchmen the best that you can. Because what happens when, your car gets stolen? And can the watchman help with your car being stolen? No, we can't. But what we can do is put you in contact with the network of people that we have to help that situation. Maybe get a new car. Maybe there's somebody they know within law enforcement that can put a little bit extra effort into the search for that vehicle and for you. Maybe there's something that we can even do to start a GoFundMe page. Maybe there's something that we can, this extends to everybody, guys, all ethnicities. We are non-discriminate, and every single member of the group is completely non-discriminatory. We support everybody. And, and if something, and you're victimized, we want to support you in every way that we can. The watchman fills that void, because how many times do you pick up the phone and you call local PD, and local PD, they don't have the time for you, or they make you feel like you're the criminal, right? And it's sad, and it sucks, because that person then now they're already a victim, right? They've already had whatever happened to them, and they're already down and anxious and depressed. And then they call law enforcement, and then law enforcement mistreats them and treats them the way that they are. And I'm going to put it on law enforcement, because law enforcement, that's your job. Like, it's not just your job to get the easy arrests, the glamorous arrest that you get to mark up as a violent crime so that you can be funded properly through the state and the feds. That's not your job. Is anybody who is a victim. It's the way it works. Even if it's not easy, the very least you can do, and this isn't all law enforcement, we know that, guys, but it is a lot of them. And if the least that you can do is offer and provide somebody a little bit of comfort, a little bit of solace and respite, then do that as law enforcement, guys, because people need them. It's not an us against them mentality. You should never feel like that. You shouldn't feel like that if you're in a government agency. You shouldn't feel like that if you're a politician. You shouldn't feel like that if you're in law enforcement. If you're serving the people in any capacity, getting paid by the people, you should be working for the people. The watchmen do is we fill those voids. We come in and we network people. We are building and creating a network of people that include lawyers, legal teams that can do research for you, legislative people that can help you that way, civically, how we can help you, community outreach, of course, on the street presence to support community outreach. Good morning, Penny. Good morning, Mariella. We're there in all those capacities for everyone, of all ethnicities, of all color, of all creed, of all religious denominations. We don't care. We do not care where you come from. We are there to help pick you up when you have been oppressed by whatever government agency there is, even if it's the tax man, even if it's the assessor's office, the inspector's office, whoever it is, SLA, health department. We will be there if you pick up the phone and reach out to somebody, message somebody, and contact them. We will put you in contact with the network of people that we are building to try to get you the help that you need. That is what watchmen do. That's what we do, guys. We are a peacekeeping mission that is out there to protect all of the people from being victimized and terrorized, and by anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I got a crazy neighbor. I think I'm going to call Watchman. Oh, wait, I'm Watchman. I should go over there. Charlie, should I wear my shirt or not? I'm confused. Should I bring my megaphone? Yeah, my neighbor is crazy. She is crazy. Crazy. She's kind of kept to herself, though, a little bit for the last little bit, so it's kind of good. But she, bees be crazy. I try not to swear too much. I know I have young ears listening. Bees be crazy, man. So I'm looking at her house right now. Charlie, come help me. I need you guys. Cliff, Bill, Jeff, everybody come over. Come over. I need you guys here, please. So, But anyways, we're not going to help you guys. Maybe we will. If you get them on video and they're douchey enough, maybe we will take up that cause. But, you know, we're there to help in every way we can. That is the spirit of what Charlie is building, and what our entire group of leadership in all the different divisions within Watchman, it was what we're trying to build. We're trying to be there for everybody. So guys, if you know anybody at all, please message me. And I know there are a couple people that I need to get back to on how to join, but you don't have to be, 6'3" and 250 pounds to do this job. You could do it in so many different capacities. Like I said, admin, taking phone calls, community outreach, talking to people, getting flyers printed up, building the network of people. We need good, qualified individuals to do that, men or women. And that's that. Breathe Free events, guys. Reach out to me and let me know you want to be a part of Breathe Free. It is a wonderful, wonderful organization that we are building. And we're right now focused in on supporting local restaurants and local bars and getting out there with our weekly dinners that we do typically on a Monday or a Tuesday, typically around 6 p.m. And that's about all the information I'm going to reveal. Because we know, you were hanging. You were like, where's the next one going to be? Where's the next one going to be? All the snitches and all the government agencies and pulling cars people that watch every one of these videos. And I've heard that Cuomo has somebody assigned to me. I feel so honored and privileged now. I mean, at first I was privileged. They had pulling cars. Man, oh God. What do you think Cuomo needs? I mean, aside from the obvious, and let's not go there. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, my hug isn't really, I know my hug's not worth, the billions that he gets in handouts from, corporations and everybody else. I know it's not worth that much. I know people have said that it's priceless. I'm like, thanks, guys. That makes me feel good. I know I love giving hugs. You guys know I love giving hugs. Good morning, Johnny! Johnny's here in the house. He and I and my bro are going out for dinner tonight. That's who I was talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. You guys don't need to see that. I just got too excited. My brother texted me the other day. He's like, John and I are going out to dinner. I'm like, yep, I'm there. So, what's up, brother? But anyways, what does Cuomo need? Oh, God, what does he need? Can we get him a sweater? We should get him like a nice sweater. One of those soft sweaters. Does anybody knit? Maybe we just get him early Christmas presents. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe his brother Chris and his family, maybe nobody's getting him Christmas presents. Maybe nobody's cooked him dinner. Man, let's go cook him dinner. And we'll show him, we'll cook. It's not poison, We'll try to ingratiate ourselves to him. Sweater, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he didn't get a toy. Which toy do you think he didn't get when he was a kid? Wasn't that one of those movies? One of those movies that, which toy was it that you didn't get? And then you're going to get that toy. Good morning, Rosalind. And you didn't get that toy. Good morning, Kim. Yeah. Kim just said a sweater that had buckles in the back. Yeah, that's true. Handmade masks. I like handmade masks too. Let's get him those. Let's get him a bunch of those. We know he's into the S&M stuff, so, let's make it a little S&M. Maybe he'll be down with it. I don't know. I'm sure he will be. Let's do that, though. Let's make sure we get him a bunch of presents for Christmas. Early Christmas presents. I don't know if that would help. It'd be nice to think that it would help, but I don't think it's gonna. Anyways, so moving on. What the hell was I talking about? Breathe Free. That's what I was talking about. So more, and these restaurants, they're scared. They really are. And a big part, and we need help, guys. And this is why I'm talking about it. Heather is amazing. Heather works full time. And she's able to get the messages out to everybody. She's built the text list. She has done an incredible job. This week, she got 60 to 70 people to come to our location. And then that day of at 2 p.m., she was able to switch it on the fly. She got it over at Joe's house, and 60 people showed up there. 60 people showed up at night, 6 p.m. on a Monday morning, and we had a bonfire. It was amazing. But she needs help. I need help. We all need help with that. And here's what we need with Breathe Free, guys. Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you. Great to see you, hon. Happy Veterans Day to Dave. Make sure you give him a big hug and a smooch. Extra hug and a smooch for Dave today, please, all right? But we need help. So if anybody has any time at all, what we really want to do is really start to build a network for Breathe Free, so that these restaurants are armed with information that we have that is factual, real, evidentiary, and that is based in all of the facts that are out there, so that we can get as much information out to the restaurants to protect themselves against the weaponization of the government. And then we want to give that information out to the people as well. So guys, in Breathe Free, I need help there, okay? So if you want to, make sure that you reach out to me and message me if you've got any time at all that you can contribute to that. It would mean a lot to me. You know, and I want to take a second here just to thank Diana, Hope, and Jill. Actually, Jill, I think, is off Facebook now, which kind of sucks. I don't know if she got banned or if she just decided to get off because she was continuing to be banned. But Diana, thank her so much for contributing everything that she has to Rally WNY and all the events that have been going on there. But guys, also at Rally WNY, I could use a couple of people there to post the events too. Diana, she can't get everything, and she works, and she's teaching Hope at home. So if we've got a couple more people in the mix and in the fray that can help, it doesn't take any time. There are some groups that we go to. We make most group leaders admins so that they can update or upload the event that they have. It's very easy. It's just really simple. It takes maybe 30 minutes a day just to go through, check and make sure and verify that everything is there, and to give updates. So if you guys can be a part of Rally WNY and help and contribute to that, that would be huge as well, guys. What else? That was a lot today. What am I going to close on? Let's see. Think about this. We got to laugh a few times today. Who do I want to talk about? Oh, okay. I think this is a good one, guys. I don't want to mention any names at all. But like I talked about earlier with the vets, and going up and talking to them and saying hi today, thanking them for their service. You know, their dinners are paid for, so if you want to offer to buy them a drink, even sit with them, they will really appreciate that. And even if they're willing to give you their name, if they've got a cell phone, that you can reach out to them, they would love that. But equally important is, remember this. When we go to these different events, what always happens? I know, Lisa, we do got to get caught up. It has been too long. So, the reason we come together with all of these groups is because it feels like family. I'm asking you guys, don't ever say anything disparaging about anybody else in the family. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know how those words are going to affect somebody. And these groups are supposed to be inclusive, all inclusive. And they're there to offer support. They're there to offer encouragement, reinforcement. And so many of us have belonged to groups in the past, or families, or groups of friends, where it does get petty, it does get catty. And that's just human disposition, guys. That's human inclination, human predisposition. Once you start to get comfortable with somebody, you start to take them for granted. Oh, yeah. I'll mention that too, Bill. Thank you. And I'm going to share a link again on my page, Facebook page. I've already shared it once yesterday. I'm going to share it again, but I'll get back to that. It's just our predispositions and our inclinations are to get comfortable with somebody, and then you take somebody for granted. And you do that because you feel like you can. You feel like you don't have to pay attention to them, what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are, if it's their birthday, if it's a meaningful day to them. It only takes that's 20 seconds to acknowledge somebody. And it takes a split second to acknowledge something that matters to them and is important to them, to thank them for what they've done and what they've contributed. It takes no time at all. If you're that person that is continuously doing something, I always say do things without looking for expectations. That's the way you should do them. But not looking for expectation or not having expectations on anything doesn't mean that other people can't acknowledge and give some gratitude towards that individual for all the efforts that they've put in. Like I said, some affirmation and validation, some acknowledgement feels amazing, guys. And if you guys can do that and remember and be mindful of that, that'll stop people from doing and saying negative things to one another in these groups and at these groups. You just got to know the personalities in the groups, like you really do. Some people they're just jokesters, and they don't mean anything by it. So try not to take anything personally. You know me at these events. I'm the squirrel, and I'm the cat, and I'm, ADD, and I'm social butterfly. I'll do the butterfly. Is that how the butterfly does it? The cat, I think that's how they do it. You guys know I'm everywhere, and I'm trying to just thank everybody for coming. But just be mindful and aware and conscious of everybody there that is there at the group. And if you see somebody sitting alone, and this is at the rallies, guys, this is at, exactly, Anna nailed it. She nailed it, guys. Exactly. If and you guys hear me say this all the time, if you see somebody at these groups, take that time just to talk to them, acknowledge them, sit with them, walk with them, do whatever. Get their phone number. Ask them if they've got all the information that they need. Communicate. You've heard me say it enough, right? You guys share that information with them so that they know what to expect. The worst thing that happens for any of these events or somebody to come to an event thinking that, oh my God, I met these people. This is a great group of people. They come, nobody sits with them, nobody talks with them. They leave and they don't know what to expect or where to go next. That is the biggest shortcoming that we have for all of these groups. And we need to be better at that. We need to be more conscientious of it. We need to make a plan, have phone numbers. I'm actually with Command Central here. What we're going to do is we're going to get a fourth phone. Yes, I said fourth phone. Shut up. I ain't a playa. I ain't a pimpa. I ain't a drug dealer. I ain't a musician. It makes it easier. If you guys saw how many texts I get per phone, you'd be like, yeah, that makes it easier. It is. It's way easier. But fourth phone, I know. Shut it. I'm going to have 4 phones. And we want to get a number that's easy, that you guys can very easily say, hey, guys, 716, 123, whatever. Or we want to say, I think we want to try to get 716 Patriot, which would be awesome if that's available, right? If we get 716 Patriot, that would be amazing. And then it's super easy to remember, have people text it, and then people are included in everything, and then we can start to match them up and pair them up with everything else. That's what I'm trying to build here with that team that I'm building. And, and I want to thank Dale. Dale has been amazing. Dale, I'm not going to give his last name because I just don't want to incriminate anybody. But, guys, Dale has been extremely awesome to me, and he's been very giving with his time. So thank you to Dale. And Mike is going to be a part of it, and Brian is going to be a part of it as well. So I'm really excited and looking forward to all of this. But acknowledge these people when they come out. Good morning, Nikki. It is instrumental. They. I am not. Why am I nuts? What did I do? Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody's going to argue the fact that I'm nuts. But anyways, crazy like a fox. Like a fox. hopefully I had some fox at least, and not one of those squirrely rabid foxes. You know, ding, 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 ding. This is what the fox says, whatever it says. This is what I forget. Somebody play that song. Put that link. Remember that stupid song? However many years ago it was. We all are singing it for like a week. Ding, 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 ding. There's no reason I should remember that. There's literally no reason I should remember that. But just take that minute to talk to people. Just acknowledge them, go up to them, stand with them, and don't let it just be for a minute and then, bop in and bop out, but let them know that you care. Show them, introduce them to other people. Like, that's the best thing you can do too. Introduce them to other members of the group. Get their phone number. So, because guys, those phone trees are amazing. Because then, you guys can go, hey, message me. I've got 20, I got 40, I got 60 people that I'm going to reach out to. Just get me the message, and then I'll get that information out to them. And that's what we're trying to build here with Command Center, is the phone trees, the group leaders, the heads of the phone trees, so that we can get that information out, and then you guys can get that information out to your groups, the text groups that you guys have. This is very vital, very critical, and very important, guys. And the reason it is, and everybody goes, well, rallies are dumb and team building is dumb, and nobody's talking about politics at these different things. Guys, of all the stuff that we have to do, of all the events that we go to, of all the election stuff, the political stuff, there's just one thing that we're doing this for. And it's each other. It's this family. It's for people. It's for happiness. It's to make people feel like they belong to something, that they have a home, that they're not alone, that they've got somebody they can turn to and call and trust. That's what it's all about. And that's why the team building stuff and the rallies and everything that we do to get together, like the Breathe Free events. The Breathe Free events are so important, not just to the group members that are coming out and then we get to eat and, have some fun together. Probably have Max there at the dinner, which we love Max, but he gets barky right at some point, but we all love him there. But we're all a family. But it's more than that. It's about that restaurant, and it's about all those employees at the restaurant seeing us. And they're seeing us as an example of how to be in life and how to be with one another. And that there are groups of people that can be out there, or that are out there, that they can be a part of, that they can feel at home too. And just remember that feeling, guys. Like, think back and remember that feeling when you started with the groups, and how good you felt, and how much pressure you felt was lifted from you. And remember who came up to you and talked to you first. Remember who came up to you and gave you a hug, or said welcome, or gave you a smile or encouraging words. And now that you're friends with, that you weren't friends with before. This should never, ever, ever become a clique. This should never, ever, ever become, this group is here and this group is, no. Never, ever, ever. It should never, ever become that way. I wish you'd go in too, Nikki. I'll do lives, I promise. These groups should never become petty. These groups should never become catty. Nobody in the groups should ever be talking negatively or disparagingly about anybody else in the group. Ever. If you get that inclination to say anything about anybody, turn it off instantly. If you have something to say about somebody, go to that person. Talk to that person. Do not develop these cliques. And, we've all been a part of that stuff. There aren't any cliques in these groups. Everybody, it's all encompassing. We welcome everybody. And even if you're having a hard time with somebody, you can come talk to me. help, and chances are very good it's a misunderstanding. But it has to be all inclusive. We have to be together. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything, guys. It just becomes something else that all these other groups we've ever been a part of, churches or family, sports, whatever it is, and it just becomes part of that. But evaluate and measure your role in it. Rise above it. Good morning, SJ. Rise above it, because don't fall back upon your schema, your predispositions to, if somebody says something, you're going to battle back. Be better than that. Be stronger than that. Be more strong-minded than that. Be a better person. And just let it bounce off you. And then go have a conversation with that person, or have a conversation with me. Unfortunately, most of these groups here, they haven't developed that. Like, they haven't developed that cattiness and that pettiness that's in the groups. But just be aware of everything that you say, because what you say can affect somebody else in a negative way. No matter how innocent it seems, no matter how just completely, I'm trying to find the word and I can't use it. I think I'm picturing Cuomo in a sweater right now that we knitted for him, and whatever mask we knitted for him. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. But just be mindful and aware of everything that you say and how somebody else can read that and take it. And just don't say it. And be encouraging to somebody else. And make sure you're being all-inclusive. You don't know what somebody else is going through. And some people are a little bit socially awkward, or they're not as inclined to be out there as a lot of us are. Make sure you're talking to those people, not just at the group settings where we're at, but especially in between. That's when it's even more important. And you say, hey, what's your number? And then just text. That's all you got to do, is shoot a text out to somebody every day. Maybe you pick up the phone once a week or a couple of times a week and you talk. But just try to be aware of that, guys. And, if we all can stick to and adhere to that fundamental core philosophy, then the groups are going to remain what they are, in spite of whatever differences may arise. We'll have that strength and that foundation to always stick together, that we come together. And sure, there's going to be differences. But again, if we can rise above those differences, if we can shed our pride, if we can shed our ego, if we can shed our self-esteem, and we can say, hey, I'm not going to be injured by this. I'm not going to be hurt by it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to do the right thing and have a conversation with this person. And if it doesn't go well, then I'll have a conversation with Pete or whoever the group leader is. And we'll be there to help you guys and repair everything and, get it back to where it is, because in all likelihood, it's nothing. It's no big deal. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate you and everybody here more than you guys know. This family, you just have no idea how good it is to my heart, to see your guys' faces out there, see the smiles, see the big hugs. Then I get the rush of memories, the flood of memories of everything we're building together, and just the kind words and the conversations that we have, just how heartfelt and warm they are. And even if it's wrestling, Andy's trying to kick my butt, or Nick or Carol are trying to kick my butt, or, Donnie or Charlie are trying to kick my butt. All that rush of memories comes back. And guys, 7 months ago, you think about how many people you didn't know. Think about how lost you were. Think about how listless you were. And then you found this group. Don't ever let yourself grow, be better, expand. To not allow yourself to forget how excited you were to be a part of and find these groups, guys. Don't ever forget that. And don't ever take anybody in the groups for granted, or any of the experiences for granted. And don't take new people for granted. That is the biggest thing that I'm trying to say. Don't take, our friends, all the friends that we have, don't take them for granted, but especially don't take the new people for granted. Happy Veterans Day. You guys know what time it is. It's breakfast time. Yesterday, oh my God, it was amazing. Cheesy potatoes, I had bacon, eggs, I had English muffins, I had tea. What else was there? Oh man, there was so much. It was so good. I was loving it. Today, I think, I don't know what I'm going to do. French toast. I have French toast. I haven't had French toast in a minute. I am having French toast. Yes. I hope you guys get to have fun today. You guys know how much I love you. You guys know how much you mean to me. Enjoy your day. And if anything else happens, I'll be back on later. Oh, guys, real quick. Our Father's, I just had it. Our Father's House in Elma, guys. Our Father's House in Elma this Saturday, 9 to 5. They're serving breakfast. They're serving lunch. And they're training, political training. I'm going to post that link up on my page as well. But if you can't find me, find the Constitutional Coalition of New York. Find that on Facebook. It'll have that listed. Also, Rally WNY has it. And you can reach out to me if you want to be a part of it. I will connect you with Nancy Orticelli. She's running it. Nancy's amazing. I love, guys, there's so many patriots, and I know I acknowledge Nancy quite a bit, but just all the work and effort that she does and everybody that's involved, Susan and Adam and Greg and, Dave DiPietro, Teresa DiPietro, Michelle Overton and Nikki, all the people that are involved, and just so many more names that are involved every day in what they do and what they're trying to do. But they've got this Our Father's House in Elma, and I forget the road. It's real close to Seneca, but 9 to 5 training is going to take place, political training, and it is instrumental. If you guys are staying in town Friday from 6 to 9 at Niagara Square, but then Saturday 9 to 5, guys, make the time. It is absolutely imperative and critical that as many of us get trained in this as possible. So what I try to do, and I think most of you guys realize, is I try to create leaders. Because that's what we need. I know everybody says we've got all these groups and it's kind of fractured and it's compartmentalized, but it's not. All the groups are coming together, and you need small groups. And the reason small groups are important is so people don't lose their identity, so they feel like they have their voice. They feel like they can be heard. They can feel like they can matter. They feel like they matter, and they feel like they can contribute. That's why the small groups are critical. That's why your text message groups are so important, to create those lists that you have. But then if you want to be a leader of a group or do something, it's you start it. And that's what I try to do and build. I can only do so much. And I'm there for you guys in every capacity that I can. I would love for there to be 8,000 of me that I could go out there. 8,000 of me, yikes. One of me is scary enough. Can you imagine? 8,000? Oh. So anyway, I try to create leaders and instill and reinforce and encourage you guys to do what it is that you guys can do in every way that you can. And there have been so many leaders that have been created and started their groups, and it's critical to do that. And the reason is that so people feel important, and then that we can bring all these groups together in an even more impactful way, where we're going to be able to accomplish even more. Good morning, Joe. So I love seeing you guys. I know that was the last thing. Our Father's House this Saturday, 9 to 5. Nancy Orticelli, Anna just posted that up. You can look her up and you can friend request her, or you can message me about that event. All right, guys? And if I don't get back to you right away, message me again, message me until I get back to you. I love you guys very much. I'm going to go eat some French toast. French toast and bacon. Love you guys. Bye.